I'm gonna be doing another video. I'm gonna put a link in the description to a video that I think you really need to watch. You really need to watch it because it shows the mindset of a King James Onlyist, an extreme King James Onlyist. Now, the kid in the video, this young kid, denies the Trinity, which we know that if you deny the Trinity, that's the first sign, according to any acknowledged apologist, the first sign of a cult is the denial of the triunity of God, the Trinity of God. God is, three persons yet one God, monotheism. What he does, he says that he doesn't even play the whole video of me, but what they do is what's called ad hominem attacks. In other words, they're going to attack or make up some kind of attack on my character rather than dealing with the issue, because they can't deal with the text itself. He brings up something in the comments that he put up, 1 Corinthians 15, 51, and 52. Now, according to his line of reasoning in eschatology, that very text that he uses proves there is no secret rapture. In fact, and he's not going to quote the whole verse. He's been trained. This is how it works when it comes to, I don't know what the, okay, so I got an itch in my neck, but I don't know. I do know that these guys are trained this way, and it's done in just a simple. I guess I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it is brainwashing. Ruckman had a way of brainwashing people. In other words, if you didn't agree with him, you're either lost or insane or stupid, is pretty much what he would do, and he would ingrain that into his students. Well, now that people have read Ruckman's materials, which I do not recommend anybody reads Ruckman's materials, unless you're an apologist, because I'll be reading a lot of that in the future anyways, just going through it and showing you how foolish Ruckman was in his theology. But so they're trained to use ad hominem attacks. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to set up a lot of what we call straw men. Something that there's nothing there and it just burns up with a match. But you'll see that that's what he uses in the video. But let me talk to you, Tim. Tim, listen. You said that there's a secret rapture, right? So you don't deny a secret rapture. I say there is no secret rapture. You say, Tim, that there's a 7-year time of Jacob's trouble, which if you actually took that in its context, in the proper dispensational viewpoint, you'd realize that the time of Jacob's trouble would be the second half of the 7-year tribulation. It's only 3.5 years, but you don't understand dispensationalism, do you? Because you've been taught by Brian Denlinger. Now listen, Tim, if you really believe that there's a 7-year tribulation period, then there's a literal millennial reign, and then Jesus Christ resurrects the dead, you don't understand the passage that you quoted in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Because according to my viewpoint, what the Bible actually teaches, now look at 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and let's go back to verse 26, Tim. Tim, look at verse 26. What does it say the last enemy that is going to be defeated? It says the last enemy that will be abolished is death. According to your eschatology, Tim, the first enemy to be defeated is death by the rapture. We should not all sleep. We should not all die, right? Tim, you have it backwards. Think about what I said. Read it in context. Proper exegesis. Use proper hermeneutics. Those are theological terms, yes, that you're void of understanding. And it's hermeneutics, not hermeneutics. Tim, I mean this with all sincerity. Look at the text. Forget about what people tell you. Brian Denlinger, even when I was a King James Onlyist, we used to mentor Brian Denlinger. We understand that he's a couple fries short of a Happy Meal. He's not all there. He's not he doesn't have the highest okay, I'm not going to throw ad hominems. I'm just telling you, I know who Brian is, what he is now, and he's a cult leader. And he doesn't want to debate, and you talked about in the video, the debating is a horrible thing in the King James Bible. In the King James Bible, when it speaks of debate, unrighteousness, and all those different things, that word debate there simply means that somebody'd rather have a victory than the truth. In a true debate, somebody'd rather have the truth than a victory. Tim, get it right. All right? well, his video, what I'm talking about, and you'll watch how just extreme, and that he can't deal with the context of the scriptures. But look, let me show you. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, we'll look at verse 26. The last enemy that will be abolished is death. Now look at the verses that he wanted to quote. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50, we'll start there. Now I say this, brethren, that the flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, nor does the perishable inherit the imperishable. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we will all be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, or trump, if you have a King James Bible. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. For this perishable must put on the imperishable, and this mortal must put on immortality. But when this perishable will have put on the imperishable, when this perishable will put on the imperishable, and this mortal will have put on immortality, then will come about the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. You're looking at the second advent, the last resurrection. That is the only resurrection that's going to happen. Not a secret rapture. You're looking at the second advent of Jesus Christ, when all of the church is resurrected. When all of the church goes to Jesus Christ. They don't go through a tribulation period. There is no secret rapture. The last enemy to be destroyed is death, Tim. Look at the context. Premillennial dispensationalism has it wrong, and your King James onlyism is driving you nuts. And denying the Trinity, in my view, it's not orthodox. You're the one that's lost, not me. Till next time, for everyone else, Tim, honestly, research the scriptures, but until next time, guys, good day. God bless.